Hi everyone, I'm Vanya. Welcome back to my channel. I'd highly appreciate if you take a moment, subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell icon to get notified every single time I post a video. And this is a very highly requested video. It's going to be all about SRM's on-campus placements, be it the internships or the full-time roles. Yeah, I have my notebook ready with all the pointers so I don't miss any. In case if I do, I'll mention it in the description box. So make sure to check that out before you leave. And yeah, I've sectioned out the video into 3 parts. First is how to get an internship, your resume, your tips and tricks, the mistakes that I did. And the second part is going to be how to balance an internship and college side by side, because it looks and sounds easy, but trust me, it's not. Third part is going to be about my interview experiences and my interview stories. I interviewed for 3 companies. So yeah, let's begin with the first part, which is how to get an internship. So honestly speaking, majority, like more than 80% of the companies visit the campus during 6th and your 7th semester. 10 or 15 companies visit during your 5th semester also, and some keep visiting in your 8th semester. But majority in 6th and 7th semester. And the companies that come during your 6th semester are mostly for internship roles. And these jobs may or may not get converted to a full-time role, but whatever like companies visit during your 7th semester are mostly for, are called like intern leads to full-time, which is basically a full-time job with like a 6-month internship period, which is during your 8th semester. I think my tip number 1 already is I am doing CSC in big data analytics, so it's a database thing. So I would suggest not having a mindset like, okay, database, so I will only apply for database role, I only want to get scientist, data engineer, whatever. Don't do that mistake. Some of my classmates did it. So my biggest recommendation is whatever role comes your way, just keep applying. It's absolutely okay. Just, you may not even attend the interview later, but just keep applying. You're not going to lose anything, right? So yeah, coming to resume based tips, in my resume I put out 3 projects, which is like, one is ML based, one is iOS development based, and one is web development based. I tried to create a diversified resume, like diversified projects in my resume, but some of them recommend putting all 3 in ML, all 3 in development, or like some of them even put Tableau and Power BI dashboards, SQL based, DBMS based classification projects. That is also fine, but you can do you whatever talent you have, whatever projects you want to showcase, you put it out there. But one thing that I would recommend is make sure you know your project in and out before you put that in your resume, because in an interview they might ask like in-depth question, why this, why not that. You need to be in a position to answer that, justify your project, defend it. So I think you need to know whatever project. A tip that I can give you is have like multiple versions of your resume ready, like one with diversified projects, one with just like all 3 ML, one with dashboards, one with development based projects. Whatever company comes your way, just make sure to read that job description, understand what they need, what that role wants, and then based on that pick and choose whichever version you want to apply. But make sure to remember like which company, which resume you applied with, so in case you get shortlisted for get called for an interview, then take that version. Don't, is important if you're doing this, make sure to keep it track. So you're done with applying, you're done with resume selection, and the third is going to be, okay, resume shortlisting happens now, which is not in your hands, which they take care of, so there's nothing much from our end to do in that, except for pray for selection, of course. Yeah, once you pass the resume shortlisting, you get a link for online assessment, right? That is the coding test or an MCQ test, whatever. You need to know arrays, strings, linked list, prefix, binary search, stacks, maybe queues. You don't have to go till like trees and graphs in my opinion, but it's good to have an insight into it, right? So after that, I think this is the most dreadful part according to me, because this is where majority pruning and funneling down happens. Like they bring the number from this to this during online assessment, like maybe like maximum 100 people get a call for an interview, and in some companies just 20. So yeah, I think this is the most important step. After you get past the online assessment role, you have to prepare a little, and your competition reduces significantly. I think for your interview, you have to be ready with DBMS concepts like SQL or MongoDB, like structured and unstructured, semi-structured, all that stuff basically. And after that, you have to also be ready with SQL queries, because in my interview, they asked, in my friend's interview, they asked, I think everywhere, SQL queries seems like a very trending thing which everyone asks for. So make sure be ready with that. With nested queries, joins, yeah, I think these views maybe sometimes. I think these are the mostly asked questions. And after that, OS concepts, deadlocks, paging, scheduling algorithms, all that is mostly important. And they might ask networking. They asked for me, but not in many companies they asked, but just to keep track of whatever the OSI layers and all that basic stuff. And after that, some companies, including mine, they did ask for riddles, be it the clock, angles, time based, and they also asked water jug problem and all that. So I think, yeah, I think if you prepare for this and also read your resume, make sure you mention the certifications that you have, and make sure to know your projects in and out. I think that is pretty much it for interviews. Okay, so assuming you already got an internship, and this is going to be about how to handle your fourth year of college and also internship side by side. So from what I've observed is Nokia and Myntra are the two companies that offer like 10, 11-month long internships. So basically mine was a 10-month internship. So the entirety of my fourth year, that is 7th and 8th semester, I was going to office and handling college both side by side parallelly. So yeah, during 7th semester, as usual, classes will be going on, CTs will be conducted, assessments will be given, exams will be conducted, end sem exam will be, so everything like normal college will be going on. But you will not be attending college, you will be going to office instead, correct? But attendance will be given, because if you're an on-campus, or if you got an internship off on campus, then the attendance will be given automatically. But you got an internship off campus, then maybe you will have to submit like offer letter and a few other proofs, and attendance will be managed. That is not an issue. But since the CTs and everything will be going on, you also have to write for your internals, right? So but you will not be knowing what is going on and everything. You won't be going to college to write your CTs. Instead, I think during this time, the CR is your go-to person. I think she went and spoke to the faculties on, I think during my time, I think 6 to 7 students were doing internships. So for all of us, she was handling, she created a WhatsApp group. She was informing us whatever was going on. She CTs, like whenever the re-exam date was, she mentioned, and yeah, she handled everything so beautifully. If you don't have good CR, then I think have a friend or someone in your class that can speak on your behalf to the faculty and sort things out for you, because you won't be knowing what is going on. You will be going to office, and weekends you can sit and sort it out with that person. And you won't be writing the CTs. You will have to, okay, in my time, it depends on the faculties. There's no specific rules like this is how it's supposed to be. Some faculties gave us like online MCQ tests. Based on that, they gave us internals. Some faculties gave us the same question paper that they had as assessment, and we had to sit at home during weekends and write everything, and then send a PDF to the faculty, and based on that, they give us marks. And another faculty was he made us be on Gmeet, switch on cameras, and he screen shared the question paper, and we had to sit and write the exam in front of him, and he grades based on that. That also was happening. So depends on your faculty, whatever he or she wants to do. Based on that, marks will be given. Please make sure, I mean, since the 7th semester is going to be all the electives that you pick, make sure to keep track or have an idea of who the faculties are. How many students do you know in that class, and CTs are going on, what is the date, what is the re-exam date. So I think keep track, because during my time, I remember, I think last year I went on a trip with my office guys to Wayanad. During that time, oh my god, mess up happened on the way. in bus, middle of the night, I was sitting and writing an exam where everybody was chilling everything. And then second day, bonfire night, I completely didn't know there was an exam that day. I wasn't added to that group. The faculty didn't know I was there. And then the CR kind of missed. I don't blame her. But yeah, some mess up happened and I did not know. And finally I realized. So I was asking her, I was like, and I was explaining to my faculty, like, here, this is what happened. Can you please conduct like a re-exam? And thankfully, that faculty, he handled IoT for me prior. So he did know me in person, and he very kindly agreed to conduct a re-exam. Yeah, I think overall my point to make is basically keep track of when your CTs are. Make sure to not miss, because once the date is passed, once the mark entry date is closed, nobody can do anything for you, and you don't want to lose your internals unnecessarily. So I think keep track with your friends or your CR, whatever is happening, what subjects, which teacher, which faculty. Very important. Be active during your weekends, because weekends are for college, weekdays are for office. Yeah, and this is for 7th semester. And oh my god, during your end semester exam, I took a leave for 15 days total, like 1 week for exams and 1 week before exams I took for preparatory holidays. Touchwood, good manager, she agreed to give me a long leave so I can prepare for the exam and then write well. So I think if you don't have that facility, then make sure to utilize the weekends where you can prepare, because the paper is going to be same. You will have to prepare, sit right, prepare everything, use your friends' help, get notes from people, read, write the exam. So I think that is my biggest tip. And for 8th semester, you don't have exams and CTs and all that. It's going to be project. You're going to do a project or a research paper. You'll have to create a report for that. You'll have to prepare an internship report separately. You'll have to create a project, to write a paper, and you also have to keep applying to different conferences and get it published. And I think the pairing of the projects also is like internship students and like higher studies. Yeah, something on that note, because internship students it was not mandatory to go to college for every single review. Like I went to college only for the 0th review and for the final last external review. Between I think 1, 2, 3 reviews were online only for me and my teammate. We were both interning. She is in Bangalore, so there's no possible way she can come to Chennai for every single review. So yeah, it is going to be a little hectic, honestly, handling both, because office also you have to keep track, you have to learn things, you have to do a lot, and you also have to make sure you do enough that you get a PPO from the office. So yeah, let's talk about the interview stories. I personally interviewed for 3 companies, which is Nokia, Fiserv and Purple. So yeah, my first ever interview was for Nokia, where it happened in my 6th semester. It was an internship. It was a 10-month long internship. Okay, so for this, the process was because usually companies hire either through an online assessment or through a hackathon, and Nokia hired through a hackathon called Accelerate Her in Tech. So I applied for that, and the round 1 of that hackathon was basically a 25 there were 25 MCQs, and there were 1 or 2 coding questions over a span of 1.5 hours or something. And later I think I qualified, and then I got another link for the stage 2 of the same hackathon, which happened over a span of 3 days, where there were 5 coding questions that were asked. Like first day 2 easy questions, and the second day 2 medium questions, and on the last day 1 hard question. So like 5 questions over a span of 3 days we were asked to solve, and live marking was given out of 500, like 5 questions 500. And yeah, this happened. And then later, overall I think 50 students got a call for an interview after this online assessment. The interview was scheduled on May 9th, which also happened to be the last working day of my 6th semester. And on that day, that was such an eventful day of my life. I'll tell you why. So that day, I had a subject in my 6th semester, in that semester, called full stack development, and I had to go and show my project and also give a viva and get my marks, and that faculty is very strict. So that was supposed to happen on the same day. And later there was this startup fair that was happening in TP2. I think that was the first edition happening in our college. You can like socialize with the startup founders or HRs, whoever come. You can go talk to them and then give them the resumes, and then later they will go see if they find a fit. They will call you for an interview. So that was supposed to happen, and 60 companies were coming. So that was like a good potential deal for me to go and handle, and I genuinely wanted to go for that. And then side by side, my Nokia interview was also scheduled on the same day. So all three were happening, and Nokia interview was in UB 13th floor, and this startup thing was in TP2, I suppose TP2 6th or 7th floor, and then full stack sir was sitting in TP. I think I don't remember the floor. So basically, if you are from KTR campus, you know exactly how distant these three campuses, actually these three buildings are. So that full day, I was literally running and doing back and forth all these three buildings, and all like 13 floors I climbed like 4 times. So that was happening. So morning I went to that fair, I think around 9 o'clock, but then nobody came. So I was like, okay. I went back. I went to UB 13th floor for the Nokia process, and there was a pre-placement talk happening, and HR was talking something, and then they were calling. I think I'm not sure of the exact number. I'm assuming 10 to 15 students, 10 to 15 people came for recruiting. So 10, 15 rooms. They sent 10 students, and then next batch they 10 another 10 students. So something like that. So I requested the student volunteers. Fortunately, they were my juniors. I knew them. They knew me through my channel or whatever. And I asked them, like, can I go in first? Because I have other commitments also. I want to go for the review also. Because that sir is strict. If I don't end up on time, then I don't want my marks getting cut. So I asked him, can I go first only and get this done with? He was like, yeah, sure. I went inside. There was like a corridor with like 10 rooms. I went straight to the last room I got in, and there was my interviewer. And I went inside. I was literally fretting because all 13 floors I had to climb, and I was, sweating and fretting and panicking. Everything was going on. I went inside. He made me sit. He was very, very chill. I went inside, and then he was like, hi, how are you? How was the day? How's college life? What's your favorite subject? And he made like little small talk with me, and then he got into the actual matter. He asked me about my projects. I explained in brief, like 1-2 line description of all three, and he asked me what is my favorite project. I told him the web development one, and then he made me explain that in detail, like why this, why not that. He made me draw the entire UI of that, and I had to explain what is the future scope, how can we further enhance that, everything. So that was happening. And after that, he also asked me DSA question, one DSA question. One DSA question, which I did solve. I think I made a little error in the first one, and then he helped me a little, and then I understood and I solved it. It was like, okay, and I solved it in Java. And after that, he asked me a riddle also about time. I think, imagine there's an analog clock, and the time is 3:12 p.m. What is the angle between the hour hand and the minute hand? So stuff like that he asked me. He showed me, he turned his laptop. There was this page about some product, which I don't remember. He made me read the description for like 2 minutes, and then he asked me, like, whatever you understood, explain it to me. And then whatever I understood, I explained. Like, was some cloud-based AI, something, I don't remember. So I explained whatever. He was like, okay, that's pretty much it, I suppose. So after that, I came out of the room, and then I was sitting, waiting for the result. And then the interviewer came out. He went to meet some other person. They were talking. I was sitting and I was watching all that. I was like I was like scared, because that's my first ever interview. I have no clue how I performed. So I was sitting and I was like stressed, and I was also thinking about the other two things that were going on in my head. And then the HR was passing by. I was like full head down. I did not even lift my head. Student volunteer came. He was like, yeah, you did well, and then you're going for the next round, which is another technical round. So I went. I met where there was a senior developer and there was my manager, who is now my manager. So those two people, I went inside and they were like, hi, hello, introduce yourself. What are your hobbies? And I was like, yeah, I told them everything. And then I told them I like astrology, I like traveling, I have a YouTube channel also. I told them all that. And after that, in a hurry, a mistake that I did was I told them I know full stack development. It's such a big term, full stack development, where I didn't know anything. But full stack development subject I know, project I did, but corporate level nothing I know. So I told him and he asked me some questions, and then I also mentioned I know Kafka in my resume, where I did have a subject related to that. So I explained him. He asked me basic questions about like producer, consumer, partition, topics and all that. I explained whatever, and then he also asked me a HTML based question, which like stacks and everything. He also asked me how do you convert a queue into a stack, how many stacks do you need. So some question like that, and about debugging and testing and all that. Also he asked me a few questions. Student volunteer came, he was like, okay, you did, and then you have to go to HR round. I went to the HR round. It was the same HR that was passing by. He looked very strict. So I went inside. He was like, hi, hello, how was your day? And the person that I am, I could have just said good and left it there. No, I don't know what I was thinking. I told, yeah, today's my last working day. I have to go and do that, and there's also this going on. This is my first ever interview, so I'm panicking. And 13th floors I was climbing, so I'm sweating. I don't know why I said all that, but I said all that. He was like, okay, okay, good. So that was literally his expression. And after that, he asked me about my schooling, my 10th, 12th, where I did, which school, where I stay, what my parents do, why SRM, why computer science in general, what interests you, why Nokia, all those basic HR questions he asked me. And yeah, it was a 15-20 minutes chit chat, which happened well. And after this, I went and I gave my full stack review also. That also happened well. I couldn't go for the startup thing. I did not go for that. By the time I went, there was like full crowd of students, so I couldn't even go past. So I just left. I gave up and then I went home. So this happened on May 9th, and 1 week later, May 14th, I got the offer letter. So yeah, August was my joining and I was doing my internship. And around my second interview happened in November, December sometime, which was Purple, which was for the business analyst role. I have zero clue how I applied online through Havelock, and then I have no clue how they shortlisted. They shortlisted some 50 students approximately, and I have no clue. I think data-based, I have no idea on what basis they shortlisted, but I got a call for interview directly, which was online interview. So first round was technical interview. I got into the call, and then there was a person and he asked me about my projects, my resume, my skills, and why this, why not that, and about I told him that I'm also doing internship at Nokia. I was like, okay, good, very good. So basic conversation, and he seemed pretty fine, impressed with me. So I got called for the next round, which happened on the next day, which is a business round. And I got into that call, and there was this guy. He made me screen share. He made me open Excel sheet, and he directly got into the question. And he asked me like, there's this 2 warehouses in Chennai. The percentage of sales happened, and then suddenly there was a boost in sales. Products were happening. This is the process. How will you analyze the situation? What is your interpretation? And if suddenly there's a boost, what are the possible precautions, or what are the things that you will do to help ease the situation, and something like that. And whatever I could, I answered whatever I understood. And he was giving me data, and I was like typing parallelly. And after that, he asked me like, what is your motivation to work, and in case if you are to work till like 7 or 8 p.m, would you be okay with that? And yeah, all these basic questions were asked, and I did not get an offer beyond that. I don't think I answered that scenario based question very well, frankly. So I was like, okay, so yeah, this is done. And then later my third interview, which happened in I think March or April, I don't remember. And I applied again, Havelock, I applied, and then there was no online assessment. Directly there was call for interview for I think 30 students, no, 50 students. I think this one, people who already had past internships in their resume plus who had Java in their resume. So these two were the parameters, and they shortlisted 50 students. And my college, from that 50, they randomly split into two halves, like 25 students, one for testing, one for development. Don't ask me on what basis, because I have no clue, and my name wasn't testing. So like, and this interview wasn't happening in my campus. I had to go to their office, which is in Palikarne, yeah, the Midwakam Road. So I went to their office. I was like, oh, nice big office. So I went inside, and I went to the testing, the interview. They called me. I went inside, and they asked me, as usual, resume, projects. They asked me about if I know anything about testing, and I told them white box, black box testing, unit testing, integration testing, like all the basic terminologies that I know. I used everything. And I also, he asked me, are you interested in testing? And I told them honestly, like, I don't mind working, but I do want to switch to development. Even if I get in, maybe a year, whenever possible, I will try to get in. And he was like, yeah, okay, many people do that. It's fairly common here. It's understandable. And then I was like, okay, done. Over. And this was in the morning, first half. And then later, I think around the afternoon, the HR came. He announced like this set of students got selected for testing, this set of students for development, this will be moved to managerial round, the second round. I was like, okay, my name wasn't there on any of this. I was like, okay, tata, bye bye, let's go home. I was inches away from taking my bag and going. But then the HR, after announcing this, he came back literally in 5 minutes. He went and he came back, and then he told like there's a small change. 3 people that they internally referred from testing to development, and my name was there, me, a guy, and another girl. So I was like, okay, managerial round, direct interview. I was like, no, you have to go give the development team's personal technical interview, and after that, if you get qualified, then managerial, then HR, and the same process. So I was like, okay. So I went in for the interview. They asked me again, same resume, project. I had to explain them, and then I told them I'm also doing in Nokia, and they asked me if I know Java, how would I rate myself in Java, if I know SQL, and about databases. They asked me 2 SQL queries to do. One was I think on second highest, which was a nested query, and the second one is I think a table join query, I suppose. Yeah, he asked me the types of joins, and they asked me like they told me clearly it's very important to know Java because this is a Java based role. And after this, me and that other guy got pushed to the next round, which is managerial, and that girl didn't make it. I'm assuming she had a Python background, not Java. So we both went to the managerial round. I went inside, the manager was very sweet. We went inside, we were sitting, he asked me about, again, same script, my resume and everything, my projects. And then I also told him about my Citibank experience. If you haven't watched, it's in my third year description video. I put like a small snippet towards the end about what that experience was. So the Citibank thing I told, and then later about my Nokia internship and about Fizzav, how it can help me. So it didn't really feel like an interview. And he also asked me my location preference and everything. So it felt like very conversational. He told me I'll be added to his team only if I get selected, and it'll be in, and then there was no HR round for me. So I directly Havelock, it got posted, I got a mail, then I got selected. I was like, okay. Yeah, these are the 3 companies that I interviewed for, and 2 offers that I got, and I'm joining Nokia. That's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys had fun. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And if I see any questions, I'll be more than happy to read through and answer that, because I understand where this is coming from. I was stressed too. So yeah, see you guys next time. Until then, bye. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Bye.